in acknowledgement of that. But he doesn't say anything, just nods like, if anyone is looking at Janik or Blair, roll me your insight. If not, then don't.
This
Binary
one,
state.
This
Magic.
one I'll throw a die at. Please don't
Nope.
roll complete ass. You piece of shit, Oriana. What the fuck? You have 2 separate dice and you rolled 2 ones.
No wonder she's rolling so low. You're just berating her.
She deserves it. Look at this bullshit.
Leave the poor girl alone.
I don't have an inspiration, son of a bitch.
You want to take mine?
I mean, sure. Oh, very good.
Yeah, take it.
Don't
roll shitty, I swear to God.
suck nuts. Oh!
Hey!
Still
Yes.
2 ones.
2 ones. Instead of 13, it's 31. Hey, I flipped the numbers.
Hey, yeah, you did.
Hey, yeah, you did. Whoa.
Boom.
Mamma mia.
Why are they making fun of me? I just attack it this way.
Lord Seeker starts crying. Anyways.
That's the second.
He probably just
that's the
activate his
second
ghost face killer powers and just kill all of you.
That's
He's
the
gonna kill
second
us
Net 20
all.
insight today.
Really?
That it is.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, what was the first one? I don't
Mine?
Me on
Oh, no, yours.
Alexander's
What was
fashion sense.
Oh, was I
Yeah,
here for- you know what? It doesn't matter.
So to basically only Oriana.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're welcome.
What?
Oh, I said thank you. She said you're welcome. That's it.
Okay. Blair looks tired. Don't get me wrong, she always looks tired. But people that are fueled by rage and hatred often are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But-
that
Hashtag
tracks.
relatable.
Hashtag me from ages 1 to 13. Anyways,
But even then, you've run out of steam.
it's not that she's out of steam on the hatred and rage front. No, she still has point of annoyance and spite about her. But it's more of like there's another layer on top of it now. And she still has this like sort of perpetual annoyance about her that isn't gone. Not at all. It's more of a like how to say this is because it's a nat 20. It's more of a like I'll put it simply. She's mentally exhausted.
Right.
All the thinking, all the planning, the forecasting, the consideration. Right? Thinking does take calories, by the way. That's a fun fact.
It's
So
very
she's
fun.
me.
She's you, yeah.
So she's the end of episode 1 of Spy X Family, where Lloyd just falls on the grass.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, thank God we got her in.
I see that.
Well, nat 20, she's not done thinking yet. That's the problem.
All right. What about? Wow, brain, Janik.
Janik's a soldier.
Uh,
Janik is cut dry. He knows where his orders are. He knows the wisdoms of his allies. The matters of Blair are not therein with the Lord Seeker, any more so than she has invested into the Lord Seeker. At the end of the day, and you get this with a nat 20, at the end of the day, it is Blair's choice.
Right. It's just, does she want to go with his blessing, or I don't want to say go with his ire, but like.
The Lord
probably
Seeker's
would
okay
take-
with Blair leaving. That's like he's okay with it. Or if he wasn't, he wouldn't have given you as a trial and a test and a conversation. That's not the point. He tested you guys on her behalf, not his.
Hmm.
So that's what you get for nat 20. The Lord Seeker turns on his heel and looks over at Captains Janik and Blair. If you wish to attend Delvit's little metamorphosis, I won't keep you from it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You won't be attending yourself then, sir? No. No. I am not as associated with young Delvit, and there are other matters to attend to, I'm afraid.
No,
But-
I don't give a shit.
But, do not let me rob that of you. He turns to all of you, and to the rest of you. He says, more particularly looking at you, Alexander. Straight the boy, right? Huh?
He nods.
Very good. He begins walking away. Almost like this sort of like marching step walking away. Very poised, practiced. He leaves the secret compound. And it doesn't take an insight roll because there are seekers around you. It's not just you guys and the secret captains. It does not take a high roll to discern that a number of seekers like let their guards down after the Lord Seeker leaves. It's just like bosses around, bosses around, bosses around. Oh, thank God he's gone. I mean, I wasn't doing anything bad anyways, but still, I don't want to do anything.
The thing is, I'm looking for the ones that stay tensed up longer because they know that if he's still within like a block radius, that's still the realm of danger.
To their credit, that's about like 70% of them still.
Right? Nice.
They don't let their guards down entirely, but they let it down by say like 50%. Janik turns to Blair. So what's your plan, Zena? I don't know. I'll tag along, whatever.
Maybe it's something to distract you for a minute.
Sure. So, you guys head on down into the basement. Not to the hallucinatorium entrance, don't you worry. And to Oriana, not towards the intensive care units, although you are going towards the same direction, but you end up taking a different path towards the end of it.
Oriana's becoming uncomfortable with how well she knows this place, or at least this area.
There are plenty of closed doors that you guys pass by, so you don't know how expansive this place is, but you definitely are getting a feel for the place. Feels like home. You guys enter into the operation room, so to speak. Not surgery. Again, they're not cutting into Dover to inject any of this. But it is sort of... It's a bit daunting. It's a bit daunting because you guys are in the alchemical wing, which has shelves upon shelves of very carefully organized alchemical ingredients along the perimeter of the room, the edge of the room. But towards the center is operating theater, which you guys can descend down. And it has a little bit of also like a dumbwaiter, which to help deliver chemicals on the sides of it. But the stairs down don't go down like a whole story, but like halfway of a story or so. And at the bottom of this operating theater is this sort of... It almost looks like a torture device or like a euthanizing execution device here in the modern day real world. It's a table which has straps and a lot of syringes which are ready to stab into someone, and a lot of very fancy glowing concoctions in the tanks. Rickard walks in like he owns the place. I mean, I guess he sort of semi-does. But there's a lot of different things in this room. And before any of you guys get any ideas, Kasai just remarks, "Do not touch anything."
Sejor puts his hands in his pockets.
Starts copies him.
Polis is like looking at the different alchemical things. Oh yeah, you guys picked up Tolis America because they're also with Sejor and them.
They're in the squad. You can ask questions, you can't touch things.
If America, if Tolis gets too close, America pulls Tolis back.
Like a dog on a leash. Like,
Nope.
Stop it, stop.
All right. Let's get it to it then. No time like the present. Dilvit. He throws a thumb down the stairway towards the operating theater. Just get all settled in there. And the rest of you, feel free to find a seat.
Oh,
I assume you
How
guys
does Delvis how does Delvit look? Does he seem nervous at all?
Sorry, I'm just looking at pictures of operating theaters.
Delvis
Sounds like baby. Oh, that's fun.
No.
Yeah, these are these are how people were taught.
Do you think
back
they
in the
put
day.
like a mirror on the roof so people could look down? You think that would be useful?
No.
Eh.
That'd be too smart.
Ironic.
Yeah, doctors aren't smart.
No, it's a fun thing because doctors are smart when it comes to bodies, not when it comes to engineering.
At the time, they really weren't.
Of course, I was weighing in on this.
I was like, I've detected medical knowledge presence.
So the cocaine.
I told you.
That timing, man.
Is there a he gets me gift?
Wherever Blair sits, Oriana's gonna sit next to, if allowed to. She might just tell her to fuck off. Sijal.
Blair does not tell you to fuck off. She's honestly too tired.
Yeah, that's fair.
Janik will sit on the other side of Blair. Bros gotta stay together, you know?
He's not a man of many words, but he is there to support.
Yeah, Janik talks plenty. He was just, you know, he doesn't have the need, feel the need to talk
fair.
all the time.
That's a better way to put it.
You guys get settled in. Finding your seats. Delvit. Actually, let's change the music. This is a bit too merry for I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pretty happy for young Delvit, but also, like, this is a bit too happy.
Fuck, I had the bot muted this whole time. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think I might have something, Crash, if you wanna grab.
Lay it on me. I will veto or confirm it. Let's
Yes. Let me see where I put it.
see it.
I might have to sign off in a bit. Got,
That's fine. If you
work.
need to hop off, do not let us keep you.
Yeah. And good night.
Good night.
No,
Bye,
no.
Bertie.
Right. Let's see. Why is it not? Oh, here we go.
Ooh. Okay, no, this is a bit too sad. bit too evil.
Fair enough.
I get where your heart's at, but
Waiting for Alex to put on Children of the Omnisci again.
well, now you're asking for it.
See, the thing is, if I'm asking for it, he's not gonna do it.
Shut
That's what
up!
you think?
Now you just said that, so now he might do it.
I'm not gonna
Well, I'm
do
gonna
it.
just put combat music right now.
Delvin turns into a monster. Roll initiative.
Roll.
Welcome to 107.8 Delvit FM.
Today we've got someone on our operating table. We're gonna inject them with a new, concoction that was made especially for this occasion.
We have no idea what this shit does.
We're going to hit the
raring to see
patient
how
over
it
the head with a phone book and see what
Oh.
that does.
It seems we need to
fuck?
hit them
Hopefully it
again.
knocks
The
him
phone
out.
book, in fact,
Might
did
give him a
nothing.
concussion.
We're now moving
Yeah.
to pistol whipping.
My thumbs are in his eyes.
What's wrong with you guys? No, it's too happy.
I
Damn
needed
it.
like the Kratos gift, but I need a calm version. I don't know how you would do that.
Turns out he's in a worse condition than we brought him in. So at this point, might as well just go ham. So
As
if
you can see,
there are
we have
any
successfully
listeners,
removed the stomach. I
What is
do
wrong
not
with
know
you guys?
which one of these tubes it connects to.
We'll be right back
I
from this
suggest
commercial
that we
break.
remove all of them to find out.
You have been betrayed by the weakness of your flesh.
Okay, I found the song. You guys shut up now. Oh my god.
I hope you
you're
enjoy that
terrible.
when you listen to it at work in like 3 days.
Disc.
It was funny. We end our program here today.
There we go. Romance 1.
Not really romance music. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's romance music, but I never played Baldur's Gate 2, so maybe it is. So yeah. Delvit enters down, and as you know, you look at Delvit to see where his convictions are. There is a moment when he first sees the apparatus, like a bit of this one actually is hesitation, but once again he takes a deep, stewing breath and begins to slowly, shakily walk down. Not shaky as a scaredness, but shaky because he's physically weak. Descend down the staircase. And he gets situated onto the operating table. It's not a table. It's like more like a chair again. Rickard goes over to him. All right, kid. I'm gonna have to tie these down and make sure nothing bad happens. You don't shake around too much, all right? Yeah. And then this goes on your head to make sure that don't shake around too much either. Captain Rickard, what's up? Do whatever it is you have to do. I trust you. All right, kid. He eventually continues, strapping Delvid into the chair, locking him into place, doing a last double check on the tanks, the vats of the chems, dunks his hands in some sort of, not watery, it's a bit too brown to be watery, solution. Dries him off, like flicking it off. All right. Let's begin. First, he goes over to this small little lockbox. It's more of a vertical lockbox than a horizontal lockbox, and he cracks it open. It's not locked, and you guys can see inside is a small shrine to Varusha Crozet. Hope you're watching, ma'am. Gonna need your help. He fiddles around in like one of his pouches and pulls out some small little. It's not a vial. Okay, it is a vial, but it's not an openable vial. It's an entirely glass sealed concoction in there. There's no opening or spout or anything. And he just sets it down in front of the shrine. He goes around, wraps around the chair, the operating chair, and grabs this very... It's like not a glove, because it makes it sound like it sticks to your hands and fingers, but it's like sort of like a guitar or something, like, just something like this apparatus just clutch with your hand. And as he activates it, you could see it begins like sort of like humming and giving out this sort of sound of vibration. And as he lifts it from its little stand, it begins like shining this bright light, this bright pale blue light. This is to help strengthen you for the op. Delva just nods, and Rickard just begins shining this light over as much as exposed flesh they can for Delva. Even going so far as to move down his sleeves or push down his robe or whatever, just to get everything exposed as much as possible. As he finishes, over the course of some 10 seconds or so, you guys do see that Delva, with this effect, is a little bit brighter. Not in terms of like skin color or tone or anything like that, but he literally has this very faint glow about him. And that's all for the theatrical front. Rickard goes over to this little control panel that's next to the operating chair, connected over to the syringed up valves and everything that connects to the concoctions. One by one. In quick succession. First is this dark yellow with white little, what's the term? No, not precipitation. That's like rain. Particles in it. Not perspiration. Precipitate, I think it was, or something like that. It's what's made in concoctions when you add another chemical into it, and it makes a sort of like physical substance inside it.
Yeah, I know what that was, but I can't remember.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. It has like these pale white, sort of tannish items, particles in it that begin to inject into Delvet's left arm. As soon as that finishes getting injected into Delvet, Rickard follows up immediately after with this pale, bright green concoction. No items in it. That's where you guys can see it is a bit of a hazy, opaque liquid, sort of like the viscousness of milk. This one gets injected into his right arm, and The first concoction sort of like as it got injected into Delvet, it feels uncomfortable in the because you're getting injected with extra chems and fluids into your body, but nothing particularly painful or reverse. But as the green one, and as it initially gets into him, you could see his like grip on the chair, still strapped down, tighten, and there's a shake as he's like compulsed, impelled, in pain. He doesn't scream. You guys can't see that he begins sweating profusely and gritting his teeth, bending, bowing his head as far as it can move. He is strapped down after all. All right, kid, slow down a little longer. The last concoction, you guys can actually see the moss in it. It's at the top, just sort of floating at the top. There is this sort of mesh that keeps it there. Sort of like, you have like a French press coffee, but the inverse of it.
So it strains liquid through the moss, but doesn't have him drinking the moss.
Correct. That'd be very bad if the physical moss got injected into a person. It is a bright blue. Imagine like fucking like shield juice from Fortnite. It glows a blue. As soon as the second one finishes, Rickard activates a third. And this one gets injected to point around on his leg, his upper leg. The major, not artery, vein, because that's how you bleed out,
Muscle
but
group?
muscle group. As it gets injected into him, you guys can actually sort of see as it flows from the initial entry blood vessel to down the leg. It circulates back up the leg, out to his heart. It pushes out from his heart to the rest of his body. And that glow Delvet had before begins to fade and get pulled down, rescinded back into him. All of your perception.
Holy crap.
Interesting.
Hold on.
Take off that d6. I don't add it. Yeah, so -4.
Where is my thing?
I was waiting.
He will see it.
Oh boy.
Please don't get a 1.
There's perception.
If you gotta want to go
Oh.
No,
Unfortunately,
You guys
you
all-
don't get a cackle.
None of you speak Abyssal. As far as I know.
Really quickly
No, I
cast
don't
tongues
think-
on myself.
Go fast, real quick. No, I do not.
I mean, you have the time to cast it.
Then
Okay,
yeah,
why
why
These
not?
injections into Delva are not fast. Like they are like over the course of like a minute to like fully circulate around him.
Can I?
If you want,
Sure.
I'm going to check. Leaf Tolis does not. Yes, okay, I am correct. You guys begin hearing these voidic whispers around you. They sound so distant. They're not a tongue most of you are familiar with. Silas, tongues doesn't, so to speak, give you the understanding of it. It translates it to you. So it's not like you gain fluency in
No.
voidic, or abyssal rather, but you just understand
No.
what it says.
Yep.
As you cast this spell and you're curious as to these whispers, these deep guttural whispers about you, you cast tongues and you understand it to be evolution, change, good, evil, irrelevant, adapt, adapt, adapt. It puts the Seeker captains a bit on edge as they sort of sit upright at it. But at Rickard's nonchalance at it... Okay, let me tell you that. Rickard is in an intense state of focus as this is all going on. He never, aside from activating the console, doesn't really take his eyes off Delva as he's continuously inspecting him. It's probably the most serious you guys have ever seen Rickard.
Alright.
Because aside from even in fights, but you guys need a good vantage point on his fight. But so his fellow captains see him and that he's okay with it, so they just sort of
Ease.
don't fully slip back into being non-guarded, but it's a bit. They still alleviate. The light around Delvet gets pulled in, and the blue veined parts, so to speak, the vessels that have the concoction flowing through them, begin glowing brighter and brighter. These voices get a little bit louder, whereas before they were like a murmur sort of echoing around like a cocktail party. They actually get loud enough so that it's just an outright as if someone was speaking at you, to you. But then they start getting quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter until they're no longer there. All the while, the light on Delvet begins glowing brighter and brighter and brighter. And you could see more, instead of like just major arteries and vessels and bigger veins and stuff like that, it begins spreading to the rest of them because that's how blood vessels work. There's a lot of tiny ones. This concoction gets dispersed throughout all of them to the point where he actually, at a certain point, he is just like fucking Dr. Manhattan. He is a glowing bright blue light. He stays that way, sort of shifting, not having a seizure, but sort of like strained as this pain slams and racks across him. To Delvet's credit, he does not scream. He does not. You guys can't hear him groan and ache. He does not scream.
But he grits his teeth.
He grits his teeth. Rickard pulls out, or opens up rather, one last thing. It is a metal prong, like a little small brand, like your cow brand. Except this one doesn't have, like someone's property, and it's not even the same size